Have you heard this one? Only invest what you can afford to lose. Okay, for me, I can't afford to lose anything. So right off the bat, I hate this advice. I hear it all of the time. Who can afford to lose something? This is why we're in the dog fight. This is why we're looking for something to invest in. I hate that advice. I know what they mean by it. Invest only a little bits here and there that don't affect your bills, your eating, maybe even some fun money, and all of this. But I say, I I don't go with that. Let's say it this way: I invest. You give me a check for $100 after I get done with a job, and I have food already, and the bills are paid. I'm I'm probably gonna put $75 of that in the crypto. That's terrible advice. You wouldn't invest only what you. I should probably put 10% of that, $10. Not me. I'm not trying to float my problem. When you put only what you can afford to lose, in my mind, what that means is I'm gonna be broke. Okay, I'm gonna continue to be broke. But what it is, I'm gonna be a little bit less broke because I have some over here in cryptocurrency. That's not how I'm trying to pull myself out of a problem. I'm not trying to distribute where my brokenness comes from. I'm trying to change the fact that I am even broke. So I'm used to uncomfortable. I'm used to a little nervous, don't know what to do with the pressure, and just simply don't have any money. I know that well. So to get out of that, I'm going to go pretty much all in. And that's terrible advice. That's why I'm saying I shouldn't be giving, well, I don't give financial advice because I'm not an analyst, I'm not an advisor. But I'm telling you how I do things. When I decide this thing is going to work, whatever this thing is right now, and this is cryptocurrency, I'm putting everything in that I can swing, not what I can afford to lose, what I can handle, and that's a different thing. See, there's different type of people, and we have to understand that. Everybody's not coming off a check and a budget where you can say, okay, after bills and things are paid, I can afford to I have 40% of my check left over. So if that's it, and you get that every other Thursday, you get your check and you know exactly how much goes to bills and your budget is that tight, that's awesome. You can dollar cost average and say, hey, I'm gonna put 20% of my extra money into Bitcoin. Beautiful. That's great advice when people say dollar cost average. I've even said that on the site before in another video. And that is a good thing, but it's not an option for everybody. Everybody's money's not steady. I understand that. So I want to be able to share with you things that I did, because I'm an entrepreneur. I have been all my life, pretty much. I don't keep jobs. So there's no, how much can you take out of each check? There is no check. I hustle. I'm a contractor. I build homes. That's not even steady. You get normally the check that I get to spend. You pay the employees, you pay for materials, you pay for permits and all this stuff. What I actually make money is at the end of the job. So whether it's a 1-month job, a 3-month job, or a 2-year job. So my stuff's not steady, and I know a lot of people's aren't. You put in my opinion, let me reword this. I put in what makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I don't put everything in where it breaks me, but I like stuff a little uncomfortable. And why is that? Because you have to break something down in order to fix it properly. I'm not trying to pull myself out of this slowly. The timing in crypto is important. The bull run being here, this is something that hits historically every 4 years. Sting them. You got to hit it while the iron's hot. The iron is hot right now. So I'm going in hard, trying to ride this as fast and as hard as I can to get me out of this situation. Maybe the next time a run comes around, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 4 years, things are better. And I can say, hey, now I can drip in. I can dollar cost average in because I have a more steady income now. I have my money invested and staked, and it's bringing me in. It's bringing me a certain amount monthly. Now I can reinvest that monthly gain and keep my stake out there. And now I have drip money. I can dollar cost average into something else. So you have to keep in mind, don't feel bad when you watch investment videos and it tells you the dollar cost average and take a certain amount or percentage out of your check each day. Or slow drip into it, do what you want. If people are individual, people have their ways of thinking. So if you say I'm a gambler, I want to come in, I want to flip my money. I can get $1,000, but I want to flip it. You know, just like when you take the child tax credit, you know, from your ex-baby mama, and you flip that, you know, that kind of thing. You want to get that tax return from your old lady, man, I can flip that for you. Maybe you want to flip. And if that's the case, then you want to buy the short-term things. You want to buy the dog coins. You want to buy the safe stuff. You want to buy the, and I don't mean safe like safe to invest. I mean like safe moon and that type thing. I'm no longer going to dissuade people from doing that because that's a personality thing. If you want good, strong, solid advice for investing, it doesn't exist as a one piece. There's things that will work if you do them, absolutely. But it doesn't take into account the person asking for the advice. So I want to give you that space to say, hey, do what you want. If you want to invest long term and you want to slow drip into it, cool, go into Bitcoin and Ethereum and don't mess with anything else. And your money will move as fast as it's going to move. Sometimes it'll move like this, sometimes it'll move like this, but it will ultimately be going up. That's a safe play. If you're more on the short term, maybe you say, just for this bull run, like say for the next like 5-6 months, I want to sting them as hard as I can. Then I'll say, cool, get into wave coins. Like the things that are, I'm calling them wave coins, things that are hot right now, which might die out soon, but might not. They're not the gamble coins. Like these things have legitimate technology influence. So I would say go in NFTs. NFTs are booming right now. I don't even like NFTs, and I have some. And it feels like it's too subjective. Like, man, what if they don't like all of these things are popping and I buy some? Mine are the only ones that don't sell. So I'm like, listen, NFTs are too subjective. Somebody has to actually come up and look and say, out of all 10,000 of these, I like that one. It's never mine. It's always somebody else's. Then I have to hear the story of how much they quadrupled their money. So look at the stuff that's hot if you want that short term and put your play mostly in that. So that's what you have. That's what you have. You can have flip people. You can have short-term investing people. You can have long-term investing people. What type of returns do you want, and what time frame do you want them, are all as important as why you're investing in the first place. You have to know that. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to share that real quick. That's been getting under my craw a little bit when I hear people say you got a dollar cost average. That's the only way to get in. Or you have to do all of these weird things. There's a certain amount of money in a certain coin. There's only path you can take to invest. I think that's ridiculous. You put in what you want, what you're comfortable with, and you deal with the trauma that causes you, and see if you win. And if you don't, honestly, what's different? If you didn't have it anyway, and you lose another thing, what's the cost? You're used to that. You're built for the loss. So build that loss to come up. Like put that risk towards something that'll raise you up. There's nothing that gets built better that doesn't have to get broken down first. And I'm a contractor. I know I do houses the same way. You want a brand new house and you gave me that pile of bricks? I have to tear that shit down all the way to the ground, build it back up, and then when you get it back, it's gorgeous. That's what investing is. Treat it like that, look at it like that, and take your own account, your own personal being into account. And I think you'll do much better here than just opening up a random YouTube video and say, what should I do to make the most money? Nah, read, learn about the industry, ask questions to people in it, and then ultimately do what you want with that information. You don't have to follow it to a T to make money here. Okay. So hot outside, right back out to the gig. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you make a lot of money out there. Peace.